Shalom. First, I want to say all praise and glory be unto Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Kakadash, double the other apostles, the great millstone, rule well. Other citation to you, fellow laborers, want to work week in and week out. Shalom to the few I go out to believe as well. Out here once again, another week. I got a PSA, public service announcement, right? No, I'm kidding. I was watching. Listened to a video on the way down here. One of the elders, and as he was going to a subject matter, I was just thinking about how Jacob and Esau to make it, and the reality of the situation is that they can't. Esau can't make it, man. All right, all you sellout Israelites out there. All you Stockholm Syndrome so-called Negroes, all you Stockholm Syndrome so-called Latinos, Hispanics, all you Stockholm Syndrome so-called indigenous and Native Americans, all right, Esau can't make it, all right? Shalaki. Yeah, Esau can't make it, all right? I know you want him to make it, but he can't make it. All right? Now, why do I say that? Because when you go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and you look up the word Edom, all right, Edomite, it tells you that he was not promised any mercy, all right, from the Most High. And the so-called Jews made that book, all right? So they know that they're not going to get any mercy. All right, so why you Israelites, why you tribes, right? So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you Israelites. Why you're looking to show Esau mercy? If Esau told you through their book, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, that the Most High is not going to show him any mercy, right? It makes no sense, all right? So bring up precepts like Deuteronomy 23rd chapter where it says that thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, which when you do your research, do your study, all right, that's talking about Assyria, all right? I'm kind of going to speed you up. It's talking about Assyria, man. When you go into scriptures, all right, when you go into the scriptures, right, I'm gonna look it up. When you go in the scriptures, you see the words. When you look it up, you know it's the word Syrian should be there. You gotta remember that our forefather, before he was Abraham, when he was known as Abram, he was known as Abram the Syrian. All right. Bear me 1 second. Let me grab it. This is Deuteronomy 26:5. It says, and thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. Now, when you look that up, right, what father all right, is Moses talking about? Because remember, the first 5 books is known as the first 5 books of Moses. Okay, This is I'm going right to the account. This is Genesis chapter 12. And starting at verse 5, I'm going to jump down a bit. It says, and Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten to Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram, this is the account of our, when Moses speaks about my father, he's talking about Abram, right, before he was known as Abraham. It says, and Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shittim, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. Because when you go into the history, the land of Israel was formerly known as the land of Canaan. Because why? The Canaanites dwelt there. Like though the land was promised to us, you had the Canaanites living in that land. Right? But our forefather Abraham, when he was known as Abram, when the Lord came to him, all right, told him that when he promised him to give him that land to his seed, right, and his seed. And so this is the time where Abram, all right, remember he's known as Abram, all right, which the word Abram alone just means Abaram, which means exalted father. So this is when he's known as Abaram. Right, this is before Abraham, or Abraham. All right, it says, verse 7, and Yahweh appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land, and there builded he an altar unto Yahweh, who appeared unto him. So, just knowing that alone, the Canaanites didn't build an altar to Yahweh. They was worshiping idols and into witchcraft, all right, and all kind of child sexual magic stuff like that, all right. When you look it up, it was the Israelites, all right, it was our forefathers when they got in that land, all right. The Most High told them that they were going to build an altar, all right, that they should build an altar to Yahweh. They're going to build an altar, all right, and this is where you have to go into the account of who built the altar to Yahweh, all right, after Abraham, all right. It says, okay, so that's it on that. Come. That's let's get another precept. It's another precept to go right hand in hand with that. I'm going to get that too. Because, first of all, you got to understand who the scriptures speak about. All right? When it comes down to lineage, genealogy, all right, who is our near kin, who is our brother. Because people take Deuteronomy, was that 23 and I believe it's verse 7, they take it out of context. So you should not abhor an Edomite. Well, like I said, when you do your research, the word should be there in Syrian. All right? So, this is Genesis. Bear me 1 second, my phone acting a little crazy. Anyways, it says, Genesis 25, going into the account of Laban, because he also was the brother of Rebecca. All right, and remember that Jacob had went to his uncle Laban. All right, and he saw his uncle's daughters, especially Rachel, whom he fell in love with at first sight. All right, and he wanted her, so he had to end up doing servitude and work for Laban. All right, for Laban. To get Rachel, we know the story that he gave Leah first, and he had to work another 7 years to get Rachel. All right, so it says, Genesis 25:20, it says, Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. So when you look that up, on the blue letter, I'm going to go to it real quick. Let's see what's still on the blue letter. It says Aram, the Hebrew would be Aramaic. It says Syrian or Aramean. It says a thing or a person from Syria or Aram. Right, and that's H761. And when you go to that, right? When you go to that, on the blue letter, when you're looking up Edomite in Deuteronomy 23rd chapter, the word or the number should be there is the H761, which is Syrian. All right, and when you look it up, H61. It gives Deuteronomy 26:5. But also, it should be there in Deuteronomy 23rd chapter as well. We go to Deuteronomy 23, which I'm going to. It says, Adamai, all right, which is that's not should be there. Going to Adama. Right, it says the Hebrew word for Edomite is Adawam. All right, that's how we know it's not that. See, it says. It says Adama, so right there is going off. All right, Adama and Esau, or Adama and Adawam, that's two different words. All right, Adama means from the ground, which the Lord made man from the ground. All right, so we know it's not talking about Edomite, because Edomites don't even resemble the ground. All right, they're the only nation that don't resemble the ground except for the Edomite foreigners, all right, the black Edomites, which are the tares, the tares that are among us. The tares of wheat parable, all right. So we know it's not talking about the Esau, right? With that word Adama. You go in the word Adam, it'll bring up the same. It'll bring up Adama too, which we know Adama and Edom is two different things, right? It says, and remember too, Esau and Jacob didn't look the same. All right, Jacob, you can call Jacob Adama because he was what? He resembled the ground. He was resembling the ground. But Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment because he lacked pigment, which, brown pigmentation, which resembled what? The ground. Right? The only way he knew was to get with the darker nations. Okay? So, it's in the Edom, nation of Edomites, Idumeans. Look, it said the twin brother of Jacob, right? But it should say the fraternal twin. All right, not identical to him. All right, that's the reason why Esau is described as being, again, red all over like a hairy garment. All right. All right. You got a lot of precepts when you're talking about the destruction of Esau and why the Lord is going to destroy Esau. But then you think that Esau can make it all of a sudden. The Heavenly Father say, change not. Which is, it makes no sense. The Heavenly Father say he's going to destroy Esau. Why would you think that Esau is going to make it or be saved? All right, Esau could never get no repentance. All right, though Esau cared for the tears, he was not forgiven. All right. All right. It says, so this is I'm just bringing out precepts, just going with that same subject matter because, again, Abraham's kin was the Syrians. Remember, Abraham came out of the Assyrians. I mean, not Assyrians. I'm sorry, not the Assyrians. Sorry, but the Syrians. All right, his father. His father was a Syrian. His father was a Syrian. And so when the Most High separated Abraham from his kin, which are the Syrians, and brought him out, and he dealt with Abram exclusively, okay? And made a covenant with him ultimately. All right, when he changed his name from Abram to Abraham. All right. So in Genesis 11 chapter, it tells you who his kin is. I was going to go into another subject matter, open up, but I just wanted to address that. which he come, Abraham, all right, come through the line of Shem. And so right here, it says, Genesis 11, and starting at 25, start 25. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. So that's Abram's father, Terah. Jumping down, it says, and Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Ishkar. So these are the Syrians, man. All right, because in the same chapter, you'll find I believe it's Aram. All right, because or it's like in the chapter before, because Aram was the son of Shem, Salaki. All right. So Aram, you look up Aram, that goes with the Syrians. So Shem, which is the forefather of Aram. All right. So Aram or the Syrians, all right, they're Shemitic. All right. The real word is Shemitic. So they come out through this line. All right, the Syrians, Aram. All right. This is where our forefathers' blood go back to, all the way back to Shem. From Shem on down to Abraham, and then you had Isaac, Jacob, the fathers of the promise. All right. So that was our forefathers' kin. All right, that was Abraham's kin. All right, and basically the Heavenly Father was telling Moses, telling to us that to not let's go to it again. Deuteronomy 26. Deuteronomy 26:5, and thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. He went down to Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation great, mighty, and popular. So the Syrians, was our forefathers near kin, and that's the reason why our forefathers went there and got wives. You got Abraham's wives come out of the Syrians. You have Isaac, Rebecca. Rebecca was Syrian, all right. And also you had Leah and Rachel. They were Syrian as well, right? So that was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, their kin. People got wives out of their own kindred, all right. Even though there was a separation, all right. That's why when you go into Deuteronomy 23, it says, thou shalt, it's talking about the near kin, all right, which is Syrian. Again, H761 should be there, all right, which is Syrian. That's why when you go into Obadiah, what are the Heavenly Father, the vision of Obadiah, right, which is a heavy vision that he received. It's only one chapter, right, but it's a heavy. The book of Obadiah is a heavy book, even though it's only one chapter. Because why? It tells you that in that same book that Esau was cut off. All right, it says Esau was cut off for being brothers. Esau was cut off for being a brother to Jacob. Let's go to it. Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord and ambassadors sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Now this is talking about the Edomites. All right, remember Edom, Esau, all right, father of the Edomites. Because why? It's talking about the Edomites, right? When you go down to verse 10, it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee." It's talking about Esau, right? It says, "And thou shalt be cut off forever." Now, when you go into the account of what it's talking about, right, it goes on to say, verse 11, and the account is during the time of the Babylonians, all right, the offense that Esau did, right? Because when you go into when the Babylonians besieged Jerusalem and they took away the tents of Judah, the Edomites, which shouldn't have even laid hands, all right, on the tents of Judah when they was trying to escape the Babylonians, right? So you have the Edomites were capturing, all right, the tents of Judah, all right, and helping the Babylonians put them in captivity. All right, when that was Esau was out of place for doing that. All right, here it is. They would escape the Babylonians, and Esau was catching them, pointing where they was at, and all kind of shit. When you go into the account, so this is what it goes on to say, or this is what Obadiah, all right, is talking about in the book of Obadiah, all right, the vision of Obadiah. Verse 11, it says, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them." Because going to the count, Esau was actually catching the tents of Judah and put them in captivity and catch them for the Babylonians. All right, that's history, man. That's secular history, which is biblical history. All right. Verse 12, "But thou shouldst not look." Verse 12, "But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction." Like I said, in the day of their destruction of calamity, when the Babylonians came up against the tents of Judah, they took away the Babylonians, because Hezekiah was the king of Judah at that time. And what happened was the Babylonians had took Hezekiah and even his sons. All right, because Hezekiah was the king at that time. He was reigning on the throne at that time, and he was taken into slavery by the Babylonians. All right, but during that same time period, was when they was being taken captives. Esau was helping them become captives of the Babylonians, which he shouldn't have done. That's what it means to when thou stoodest on the other side, when the tents of Judah was becoming strangers. All right, and at the same time, us northern tribes, we had become strangers as well, because the Assyrians had taken us away, all right, the majority of us away, all right, into Assyria, all right. It says, "But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, because the Babylonians took the tents of Judah away. The Assyrians took us northern tribes, those of us that our fathers are so-called Latino or Hispanic or so-called Native Americans. We went into Assyria, all right, and the tents of Judah, was the southern kingdom, all right. We know there was a split, right, after King Solomon. The southern kingdom was taken away by the Babylonians, all right. That's why when we talk about the Babylonian Empire, we say / Assyrian Empire, all right. says, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. You know, because Esau was stealing things, all right, from the tents of Judah, man. Laying hold on things that they belong to him, all right? Verse 14, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway. And this is what they was actually doing. They were cutting off Jake, man. The southern kingdom of Jake, they was cutting him off, man. Actually standing in the crossway when they were trying to escape from the Babylonians, cut him off, capture him for the Babylonians, man. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. See, they were escaped, right? All right, you got the tents of Judah that some of them had escaped, but they was caught by the Edomites, man, the so-called white people, man. It says, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. See? So that's what Esau done. That's how we know that Esau and Jacob being brothers was cut off right, you know what I'm saying? Right there, man. But the day he did that, the day he stood in the crossway, the day he laid hand on their substance, all right, when they were being afflicted, all right, that's when Esau was cut off, man. All right? That's the reason why the judgment of Esau is so great, man. Okay? When you go into the judgment of Esau, the reason why the Most High pronounced heavy judgments upon Esau, right? The heaviest, the most destructive judgments on Esau is because of what Esau done to offend, man. All right? Ezekiel 25. All right, it says that Esau had greatly offended by laying hands on Judah, man. All right? And the Most High said what? He's going to lay hands on Edom, all right, Esau, by hands of his people, Israel, man. Because, and that's starting with Judah, man. That's starting with the tents of Judah, all right? Because Judah is the head tribe, which are the so-called Negroes, or you know, they got many titles on our brothers. They call them they so-called Negroes, they're so-called black, they're so-called African Americans, all right? That's all confusion. All right, they're the tribe of Judah. All right, but anyways, hey, you brothers will cut off